And that's Act 1, ladies and gents. Are you following along? I know it can get a little confusing, so let's review the key plot points. Juan is a douche. He was in love with Leonor, but then he abandoned her. She has now followed him from Spain to Brussels. She found her brother Fernando, and he didn't recognize her, and somehow didn't connect her to the woman that Juan was talking about. Now Leonor can finally get her revenge against Juan. Heads up, there's a brief time jump between these two acts, about 6 months, so I'll try and do a little recap of what we think our band of characters has been up to. Leonor has to live every day around her ex, Juan. She is just trying to muster up the courage to do what needs to be done, but she can't do it. Everyone is in love with Estela, and I mean everyone. Juan is courting her, which just makes Leonor even more angry. Ludovico is trying his best, but Estela hates him. And Fernando, well, he loves her, but he can't do anything about it. The only man that has caught Estela's attention is Leonardo. The irony. And Leonor is just trying to figure out the next move, but then it dawns on her that this might be an advantage to the revenge plan. Lisarda is just living for the gossip, and Tomillo is just chilling, living with the servants, trying to copy his master with some servant girl named Flora. Don't worry about her yet, she'll be important later. Before we get started, I'm gonna spice things up a bit. Let's jump right back in. Act 2.
What do you think of Don Juan, Estela?
He seems fine.
He's such a gentleman, so gallant. He deserves every attention. He was so dashing, so spirited, so proud, so brave.
I would expect him to be handsome and graceful if you find him to your liking.
You flatter me, cousin. And what of the prince?
Ugh. Nothing pains me more than the sound of his name. May the heavens spare me his attentions.
My love reward my yearning heart.
What a horrible man!
So, you really don't like him?
No.
Don Leonardo, on the other hand, deserves your love. He's so handsome and clever.
So fast, cousin! I can't ignore what I feel for him. In this short time, he has caused me such heartache, so many sleepless nights. And yet, I owe Don Juan my gratitude for his attentions. But this gallant Adonis, this Spanish phoenix, this new Ganymede, this youthful god of love, this Narcissus, this sun, oh, the sight of him has changed me so. There is no room in my heart for even the memory of a former love.
A change indeed.
It's true, I confess. Yet since I've never shown another favor, there's hardly any fault in my falling for him now.
And so, he may seek his happiness?
My own, you mean?
Beautiful, Estela. Prince Ludovico has asked me to come to you. Yet Don Juan is my friend, and I know he would lay his very soul at your feet, just as humbly as I do now. Oh, how can I do this? Oh, God, how can I say this to her? I beg of you.
What you beg of me matters little, Don Fernando, when I have no desire to choose.
That's enough for me.
Do not speak to me of Don Juan or Prince Ludovico.
Oh, I just want you to know what they're thinking.
Oh, her disdain is music to my ears. Now I can act on my own love.
She hates Don Juan. What luck.
And you, Don Leonardo, have nothing to say to me after so many days away. I cannot believe you behave this way, ignoring all the rules of courtesy and your obligations as a gentleman.
But since you will not decide, I bid you farewell.
Goodbye, then.
And you, Leonardo, will you stay?
Yes, cousin.
Fernando, tell both of them for me that I am not in love, nor do I plan to marry.
My silence, beautiful Estella, speaks volumes without saying a word. Silent adoration is a language all its own. Already I have confessed what only eyes such as yours could have caused in me. Those twin shining lights offer peace and serenity amid the raging storm. Sweetness when all is false. Yours is an arresting beauty, a bold charm, and a confident glance. Who but you could be so cruel and yet so merciful? Who else bestows punishment and reward, life and death? Who overcomes the will, disturbs peace of mind, rules over pleasure, reigns over volition? Who else but you? Who else but you could rule over all she beholds like the sun or a god? While you stand aloof, suitors surrender to a sweet death. Pain is pleasure, cruelty alluring, suffering irresistible. What else but your impetuous beauty could command this delicious torture? Cuando más rinda el alma, pide a esos ojos piedad, más rigores examinan, desengaño siente más, y si humilde a vuestras manos, sagrado viene a buscar, atreviéndose al jazmín, mirándose en el cristal, desengañada y corrida, cuyo signo vuelva atrás, pues gala haciendo el delito, y lisonja la crueldad, el homicidio cautela que son, publicando están. ¿Quién voluntades cautivas? ¿Quién roba la libertad? So wise and so lovely, yet so cold in your courtesy, reserved in your praise, sensible in your whims, virtuous in your beauty, yet there is no blaming you, for mysterious as a goddess, you devastate with your loveliness. What would mar another, no matter how lovely, is cause for praising you. Only you can wound at will and delight those you kill. Change my pain into pleasure. If my love is worthy, let me be your humble servant. For if your eyes were to deny me their fortune and favor, their cruel mercy, where else could my soul turn to?
On earth as it is in heaven, forever and ever, amen. That was some poetry Leonard spouted. It's not too bad. At least her verse is penetrating, since she won't be able to go as deep with her prose.
Don Leonardo, that's quite enough of your sweet words. I suspect you are playing the nightingale who sings not out of love or a jealous heart, all yearning and lovelorn, but simply for his love of song. I value your courtesies, and were I assured of your love, I would grant you my favor.
My love will prove itself in time, but you're not wrong to compare my affection to the nightingale's song. When sweetly and sincerely he sets his music stand above the jasmine or the rose bush to sing welcome to the day. It is you he greets, celestial dawn, for your eyes are true suns and your beauty the sky. Will not any nightingale sing when beholding you? Would not he grieve when you are gone?
How glib is your tongue! But enough, Leonardo, no more. Tonight, in the courtyard beneath my window, I wish to speak to you alone.
My soul shall fly to obey you.
Goodbye, then.
Goodbye. I am at your command, lovely Lizarda.
I will see you later.
Very well.
How was that, Ribete?
It seems my prediction is unfolding nicely. Estella, blinded by love, imagines she can coax fire from damp wood and 2 cold stones. How could a great fire of love be struck, even if she's hot for you, when you've got no wood to burn?
Love is on my side. Here comes the prince. See how vain he looks. But I need his friendship.
Don Leonardo!
My prince! It's been so long since I last saw you!
Do such credit to our friendship.
By your life, I swear.
Enough! What is there to swear about?
Our things with Estella!
Our things! Fernando spoke to her and she told him with such scorn that I ought to leave her alone, that she does not love the prince nor plans to marry. I'm vexed by her sight, I tell you, as my interest is plain for all to see.
We're friends, are we not?
Who but you deserves to know the truth of my love?
There is much we need to discuss.
Watch what you're doing.
This is a matter of great importance. Listen. Estella has declared herself to me, but for your sake, I will not love her. Not if my life were at stake. For moments like these are the test of true friendship. I prefer you to possess the favor she would give me, and so that you may win her, you must go to the courtyard tonight to speak with her, pretending you are me.
What are you saying?
You must grant me this favor. Come, I'll tell you the rest.
What's Leonor doing? But she's a woman, what wouldn't she attempt? Even the most proper of women has a touch of the devil about her.
Good God! I can't find Don Juan anywhere.
That's that buffoon that means to deflower Flora. Don't worry about her yet. Why don't you call for him with the town crier as they do in Spain?
My countrymen! How it warms the cockles of my heart to think I see other Spaniards.
It is a natural feeling towards one's countrymen.
You serve Don Fernando, don't you?
That's right. I am a servant of his cousin Don Leonardo. Is that all?
And how's the pay?
He pays in advance.
And he feeds you?
Anything I want.
It's not like that here. Where are you from?
Madrid!
Oh! And how long have you been here?
Oh, it's been far too long. 6 months.
And what is new in Madrid?
Oh, everything there is old hat. The only new thing is the poets, and only because there are so many of them. Even women want to write poetry and dare to write plays.
God spare me! Wouldn't they be better off sewing and spinning? Women poets!
Oh yes, and it's not as new as you think. When there is Argentaria, Sappho, Areta, Placidia, and 1,000 modern women that make Italy shine with splendor today, making up for the boldness of their new vanity.
And tell me.
Oh, Christ almighty, that's a lot of questions.
There is such turmoil in my breast, such passion in my soul. I can find no rest as this life takes its bitter toll. Though I relish every sleepless turn, I shiver and I burn at this love. There is such passion in this pleasure, this jealousy that racks me is hell in different form. To what end did chance have that lady cross my path if the lady I now love is the one I'll never have? Sweet Estella is well aware of my love and obligation, but what of it? If she dithers, she takes no risks, offers no care. She is snow to my hot fire, a moth drawn to another flame. Neither love nor hope frighten me, for good fortune remains elusive when I await such a reward. This Leonardo cousin of Don Fernando, is now my gallant rival in love. And yet, I am amazed, for his voice, face, figure, and name are so similar to Lenore's. For who, if not who is Leonore's very copy, could indeed have spoiled such an agreeable match with Estella? Lenore, though she is absent, still haunts my imagination and knows just how to thwart me. My desire frustrated, it is as if Leonore has come from Spain just to get in my way. The prince serves Estella, and she, fickle as she is, dotes on his friend Leonardo. I, like the last soldier on the watch, am left out in the cold, while unease consumes my favors and my sorrows, my breast an ardent volcano, my soul an Etna of fire. A poet once said, "He who loves more deserves more." And so I must love, for I believe there is merit to my suit. Let fortune's chosen one receive the laurel branch, though if love were in joy without merit, then honor and pleasure would be all that fortune brought.
I'm back. Sorry you had to sit through all that. Boo-hoo. Shoot, I have lines now. Here we go. How these blind endeavors weigh upon Leonore, yet who can hope to see when the blind lead the blind? I am to give this letter to Don Juan as though it were from Estella. Since love keeps Leonore awake, she is using tricks against tricks and ploys against ploys. Ah, there he is, and how happy I will make him.
Must I love without reward and conquer without a prize?
Fortune calls to you now with a happy task. Read this letter.
What is this latest misfortune?
It's from Estella, Countess of Sora, by the grace of God.
I shall kiss it 1,000 times, for it is hers. Oh, let me read it, please.
Read. I'm sure it will be all spark and no fire.
What good fortune! Now perhaps I'll have my prize. Born of firm resolve and not of simple luck, I've overcome the disdain of the beautiful Estella. She calls to me at last. Oh, come, all my joy. Not too fast, lest I die of delight in such glory, when all my sorrows could not kill me.
That's just it.
Take this chain. I wish I could give you the world. Oh, sweet letter. Mwah.
I'm sure there's less to it than he thinks.
Am I dreaming or awake? Do I dare answer? It will be my great pleasure to obey her, my friend. Tell the one who owns my heart that I am hers.
Goodbye, then.
And to you, we must speak again. I'm sure we will be great friends.
But of course.
Hurry on, Apollo's fiery chariot. Make room for the night whose darkness follows your flight. Today, my hope will try its luck, for the Count, for Estella herself urges me on. Though the prize may take some time, these high hopes are far more worth than any humble conquest.
Or do I wander in my madness, impelled by the savage force of love? How in all its blindness against impossible odds can it still persuade me that I will triumph? Oh, honor, how you grieve me, play with me, offend me. If only Ribete would come, so I might know whether he was able to give the letter to that ingrate from whom I risked so much. But here he comes. What news, Ribete?
Well, I'm here. I gave the note to that sweet angel who gave me this shiny trinket. Thinking the letter was from Estella, he told me to deliver it to the one who has his heart and say he is hers, and he will come to speak with her soon.
Very well.
Have you made up your mind?
This night will bring me either resolution or death.
Be careful, Leonore.
There's no other course.
God, I hope you don't muck everything up.
You don't know my courage.
Who says you're a coward? Just look at you now, so brave, so quick, so proud, so daring, and, in short, another Mars in everyone's eyes, whose boldness alone wreaks havoc far and wide. And yet, my lady, where is the strength to match it?
What of the heroic Semiramis? What of Zenobia, Drusilla, Drasnis, Camilla, and 1,000 like them? Did they not set an example for 1,000 famous men? Besides, Ribete, I have to find him first. I'm only here this early to give the prince time to see Estella without running into Don Juan.
Take courage, then, for you are here now, and those are the Countess's windows up there. She spoke to me right here the other day.
Make sure the keys Vinhel gave you are waiting for me where I said, Ribete.
Very well. The ones to the room next to Estella's, the one with the balconies to the other side of the palace, which lies empty now.
Yes, and wait for me where we agreed. With one of my gowns, my life depends on it.
No. I should stay here to defend you in case Don Juan...
What nonsense, my friend. I know my own strength.
If you know your own strength, then so be it, my lady. Goodbye.
I guess she doesn't need me anymore. I'll just leave her to her own devices then.
I came early in case Don Juan cannot sleep, and is around too. God delay Prince Ludovico in case Don Juan shows up.
I was right to fear there'd be someone here. It's one man alone. I must find out who it is.
That's a fine figure of a man. Could it be Don Juan? I must get closer and find out who he is.
If he would just say something, I would know if he is the prince.
I must speak to him and settle this once and for all. Who goes there?
One who goes where he pleases.
It's him, a fine response. Well, he won't pass unless I allow it.
Who are you to get in my way?
The devil.
The devil? Ha! Nicely played. I'm not afraid of a devil.
I'm like 100,000 million devils when I get angry.
Huh, that's quite a legion.
Are you mocking me?
How could one man defend himself from so many? And so I humbly ask you, if devils listen to that sort of thing, that you send them away. What on earth could they want here? So insolent. He should just be he should be glad he found me, just as I awaited the chance to speak to Estella.
In fact, they like to rain sorrows on ingrates such as you.
And if I won't let them?
Won't you?
Those are feisty devils. Settle down, my man.
And you're very ill-mannered. Either you let me stay here, or we have to fight. You choose.
Have you gone mad? I've been very patient in putting up with such nonsense, but this is no small matter. It'd be too bad to have to kill you, but to leave would be even worse. Men like me are never swayed by petty insults such as these. Besides, I have given my word to hold this place.
Well, if men such as you kept their word on weightier manners, as both reason and justice demand, there'd be no need for revenge. Why do people even give their word if they don't know how to keep it? Is that fitting? Is that fine? Is that polite? Is that nice?
This is no lark. You clearly takes me for someone who has offended him, but to leave him in the dark. I do not understand you, by God!
Well, I understand myself just fine. And it should be clear that I know you, since you know that I speak the truth.
Your boldness shows such courage and such daring. I find myself growing fond of you.
Your fond feelings are in vain. This is not the first time you find fond in me. But it was always fiction. Because you are a treacherous, fickle, false, faithless, deceitful, duplicitous, savage, godless, unjust, ungrateful, and untrue to your word.
Look, I have given no one cause to speak against me this way. And yet here you are, spewing accusations I don't understand.
You don't understand, you fickle man? Did you not fight, promise, bleed, oblige, persuade, and pledge, swear by the faith and word of a noble man? And then, betraying your blood, honor, and obligation, flee at the first chance, disdain with no reason, and leave without a goodbye?
You're mistaken.
I had better be mistaken. A great man for an escape you are.
The rays of the sun would lose their light before I'd failed to keep my word.
Well, look. I know one who knows full well you gave your word. You made a solemn promise never to break it, and as soon as your desire was satisfied, it was all over.
You are mistaken.
I had better be mistaken.
I do not understand you.
I do.
Listen to me.
I want to hear no more falsehoods from those lips of yours. They will only lie again.
Consider.
I'll consider nothing. How considerate were you? Draw your sword.
Neither my sense nor my courage can let this pass any longer. There is no other way out.
Okay, sorry. I know I said I'd leave her alone, but they can't fight, obviously, so I'll just help fill in the gaps. They begin to fight, and Ludovico enters.
Don Leonardo told me to wait here for Estella. I suspect she is late.
I have tried to be patient and polite, since you clearly take me for another man. But you seem determined to fight.
But they'll fight here!
Most disloyal of you men, I know you well.
Well then, let's fight.
They fight.
That's Don Juan! Oh, fortune! Finish off my rival! I can kill him if I just help his enemy.
Ludovico moves to fight at Leonard's side.
I'm on your side! Let the villain die!
He will not!
She moves to Juan's side.
My courage will save him from 1,000 deaths.
What's this?
You defend the one who offends you?
I may want him alive.
What is this? By God, such a sudden change!
Oh, if only someone would kill Don Juan!
Won't be easy, not when I defend him.
Leonard fights Ludovico.
Such terrible blows!
Ludovico takes a step back.
That's better. This is not your business. Leave, sir, before it costs you.
That's the first reasonable thing he has said. They have not recognized me. I should go now and not keep Estella waiting.
Ludovico retreats with Leonard chasing him off stage.
That's more like it.
That was brave and gallant. By heavens, what is this? For this man to provoke me, and with his sword allow fury to triumph over reason? He wished me dead, yet in a moment he came to my defense. I would never have imagined such a thing. He might want me alive, he said. He barely challenged me to fight, then resisted the one who attacked me? I do not understand.
He's gone. Let's resume our fight.
What is all this obliging and offending me, by God? I won't fight you, sir. Which is proof enough that I am grateful.
You think my coming to your aid was some sort of great favor? You could not be more wrong. Offended as I am, I want no other to partake of my glorious revenge. It would not be my victory if another's courage were to deprive me of my triumph. I want no one's help. My revenge would be less memorable than no. My happiness depends on killing you myself.
If someone has offended you and you believe it was me, then you are sorely mistaken.
I may have been mistaken once, but no longer.
And tell me who you are!
One who treats me so poorly has no right to ask. The man I chased away was Prince Ludovico. He will soon be back, and I don't want to see him. You may say I don't care. And if I provoked you earlier, I had a good reason to do so.
Who are you? Tell me.
Won't. Rest assured, we'll settle this soon enough.
Listen, hear me out.
It is not possible. I will find you. This is enough for now.
By God, I will follow him, if only to confirm that he knows it was me he spoke to. Who else could know what I did?
This is only the beginning of Leonard's shenanigans. Quick check-in. Estella has asked Leonard to come to her window tonight. But Leonard has sent Ludovico in her place to pretend to be Leonardo. Leonard has also written a fake letter to Juan from Estella asking him to meet her at her window tonight. But it will actually be Leonard. So confusing. So Estella is talking to Ludovico, who is pretending to be Leonardo, and Juan is talking to Leonard, who's pretending to be Estella. Okay, let's jump right in. Enter Estella at her window.
What takes Leonardo so long? He must be waiting for things to settle down at the palace. Or perhaps he is detained in someone else's arms. Oh, may love prove me wrong. What could be taking him so long? Oh, is that him now?
Good Lord! Where is Leonardo going at this hour? I heard him talking to someone.
Is that Leonardo?
I will pretend to be Leonardo. I am your slave to my great good fortune.
I was worried you wouldn't come.
Then I am happy I was late.
Why?
Because it made you worry about me, most beautiful Estella.
What kept you so long?
I was gambling.
Did you win?
I did.
Give me my share.
What is left to give when I am all yours?
You are just making excuses. Come closer. Listen.
Gladly.
If only I can speak to him, it'll be a perfect ploy. For once Estella dashes his hopes, he must seize his attempts.
Oh, to have followed him and then to have lost him on the way from the palace.
This is Don Juan. Go slowly, love, slowly, for tonight in your game I shall either lose myself or win it all.
Here is Estella, surely.
Who is that?
A lost soldier on the lookout in the war of love.
A brave soldier. Is it Don Juan?
The very one who has surrendered his entire soul to you. Memory, will, intellect, with far more pleasure than pain. I have no faculties left with which to act, no reason to judge, with no strength to fight. All this subject to you, Estella.
What? Do you love me so?
You are clever enough to realize when you look in the mirror. Could anyone help but love you?
Though it's true I was once vain enough to pursue a dubious passion, I can't trust the mirror.
It must be a dark glass.
Don Juan, sir, I don't need you to praise my image. I only wish you were less of an ingrate.
I? An ingrate? By heaven, if I do not love you, then let me die in the attempt.
Oh, what? Don't you know me better than that? Let's get to the point. Why should I believe you? Doña Leonor, the lady from Seville, was neither foolish, ugly, poor, lowly, or rustic. Was she? And yet, you know, you ingrate, how you toyed with her honor despite her sincere devotion.
What, Leonor? What lady?
Come closer, listen. There's always some truth to rumor. I know reputations do not lie.
Don Fernando has given me away.
I am your slave. Of that I am certain, but not whether you pine for me, beautiful Estella. I must find out if she favors Leonardo. I know that Prince Ludovico is dying for the love of you. He is rich, royal, noble, in fact, and although love pays no heed to distinctions such as these, I cannot possibly prevail against him.
I find him tiresome, arrogant, pretentious. In fact, I cannot stand to hear his name.
Oh, ingrate! My love is clearly more deserving.
So many pretty words. You confess your love then.
I do confess it.
So then why you betray her?
It is true that I loved her, but know this. I did not offend her honor.
You are so fickle, Don Juan. Were you able to forget her without having enjoyed her?
Only your beauty is to blame for that.
My beauty! That's a pretty excuse. If you must always love the next beautiful woman, you will only trade one for another.
Listen, please.
I will show off my wit.
What of Don Juan?
I don't like him. Nothing could persuade me to love him. I love only you.
That will drive me to desperation.
For Estella to know of this, I must be mad.
Speak, Don Juan, speak.
Okay, I can't keep this up. I'm just gonna throw them both up there and I'll pause them for you.
Hear me out. Like one who sees the morning star gild the horizon before dawn and cannot but love its shining glow, only to call it dim once he sees the sun rises pure and bright to illuminate the sky. So it was for me. I worshipped in Lenore, the lovely fire of a star. I was a moth to her flame. But once I glimpsed in you the shining likeness of the sun, I saw my previous love was but shadows and flickering light. Lenore is a fading star, and you, a resplendent sun.
I know well that Don Juan has a claim on your affection.
I would be lying if I denied it. And yet it was... Hear me out.
Speak.
Allow me to explain, Leonardo. As one who in a shady grove or garden comes upon a pure, fragrant, lovely field of flowers of every possible color, and is drawn by the beauty of the rose, only then to find a more delicate jasmine, and so must leave the rose behind. So it was for me. I saw Don Juan, a handsome rose, and out of gratitude accepted him as my suitor. Then, at the sight of you, all my senses were drawn to you. I chose what I found most beautiful. For though I may esteem the rose, I find in you, the jasmine, a more fragrant delight.
So Leonor was just a twinkling star announcing the sun to come.
That's right.
This is tearing me apart. Listen.
I'm all ears.
The wandering traveler treasures the pure light of the morning star in the darkness of the night. It alone brightens the path and offers him hope. And so, though the sun's rays might finally reach him, he remains grateful to the star. That beacon in the storm. Lenore was the star that led the way through the darkness of your love. She was your guide, and you, ingrate that you are, forgot the spark of its beautiful light long before you fell for my radiance. Had you not forsaken the star long before you saw the sun?
That's a strange metaphor, Estella, to compare a rose to Don Juan's courage and gallantry.
Not so.
But listen, he wasn't wise who among the flowers preferred the jasmine to the rose. Its perfume does not last once it starts to wither. The rose maintains a strong, sweet smell, fragrant to the very end, so that even in death one may call it beautiful. The rose is indeed the better flower. The jasmine is not as fine. Presented with the rose and jasmine, you welcome the brief splendor of the jasmine, its fragrant snow which the spring wind will blow away. But then, once you see the coveted rose, its proud, beautiful grace, you'll surely prefer it to my love. The jasmine is but a lowly flower. The rose is full of fragrance.
A nice bit of sophistry.
Forgive me. I must say what I feel. Go. Go on back to Spain. An honorable man should not die to deceive such a noble woman.
My love for you redoubles my feelings of disdain. I've forgotten her, yet this is the reward I get.
Then lose all hope, Don Juan. I only wanted to see you in order to disabuse you.
You make such easy wordplay of my pain, Don Leonardo. Yet, I will be firm in my affection. Nothing will stop me from loving you.
Whether a jasmine or a rose, I will merit fortune's crown.
Farewell. Dawn is breaking now, clear and radiant.
Stay, for your eyes rival the sun.
More flattery! Look for me later, and farewell.
I'm blind without your light.
How could Estella respond like that? How could she be so disdainful? My heart pounds as though I would leave the prison of my breast. My battling desires will cost me my very life. Foolish thoughts afflict my soul, and lost in doubt and chaos. Don Fernando is to blame. What should I do now, ungrateful Estella?
Though you may now offend, ungrateful Estella, my ploys will win out in the end, if love will not do the trick.
But why do I falter? Where is my courage, my strength? I'll follow this enamorous deed through to the end. I will love the Countess Estella. I'll stand firm against all others. My unrivaled affection will overcome her disdain. I'll treasure her denials as my greatest favors. Estella's fury and anger, her hatred and loathing, her tepid reception, her brutal rejection, all conspire against me. Let my life end here, amid all this pain. Yet if fortune favors the bold, I'll hazard my life, and torment so brief, bold and daring, and firm in my purpose, I'll stand up to her fickleness.
And that's Act 2, ladies and gents. A lot is happening. Do we need a quick check-in? Everyone is confused, and Leonard is winning? We're just gonna jump right into the last act. You'll get it all. Oh, there's no intermission, by the way. I assume you're all in the comfort of your own homes, so if you need to go use the bathroom, the pause button's right there. Go to your kitchen, get a snack, all good. We're gonna keep chugging along.